Okay, you're all set. Have a good night.
Yep, thank you. Okay, I called Matt tonight and all I got was recording. So I would assume he's busy with his job. Because I know he was in a job where he couldn't do anything with his phone at night. So Jeff, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Got something I wanted to show you. I picked up this week. I'm still working up in West Bridgewater and looks like I'll be there for a couple more months. But I have, yeah. Don't laugh too loud, Sherry.
You knew it would be long, David. You knew it.
You know. Well, it proved fruitful, though. I run into this guy up there, Hugh Hurley, and he's on the planning board in West Bridgewater. But he's an old-time West Bridgewater guy. He's a retired civil engineer.
Oh,
And he used to work for Hayward, Boynton and Williams. And he ended up with some neat stuff from Hayward, Boynton and Williams. And I'm gonna see if I can share it with you. He gave me two maps. And one is a little earlier than the one I had before. I'm gonna play with this a minute. I'll send you a copy of it, Sherry,
okay.
so you can look at it tomorrow. Let's see. How am I gonna do this? My screen is up there. Meeting's being recorded. Yeah, okay. Don't need to know that. Okay, sharing the screen. Yeah. Okay. This looks like it. Let's open up this one, see what happens. Maybe, I might need your help. My IT advisor has stuck her head in the door. Okay, can everybody see that map? Well, I know Sherry can't. Turn on your high beam, Sherry. Jeff, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. I'm all set. All right, now I'm gonna blow this up a little bit. I'll try. Now I have another copy of this map. And this is dated, where is the date on it? I think it's dated 1866. And it's a map, Sherry, it's a map of the ironworks. It's a what they call a linen. And they would use this to make actual prints from. But I thought the map was on here, the date. I'll try to bring it down. Can't bring it down. Shrink it down a little bit. Well, anyways, I had it scanned down to Silvers in Bridgewater, and I'll send you a copy of it so you can see it. I have another copy of this, but the it's a little complete down the bottom of the title block. It actually says Bridgewater Ironworks or Lozelle Perkins. I don't know exactly what it says. Evidently, this one wasn't quite complete for some reason, but it does show all the buildings in the ironworks. And I'll send you a copy of it. But anyways, after I had it scanned, I brought it down to the library and turned it in down there, the Bridgewater Public Library. So it's in the historical room. And the other one's kind of neat too. It's one that I've never seen before. Let's see if I get back to that screen. This is the Bridgewater Fairgrounds in 1888. And it's just a
Was that,
pump.
was
It's
that up
just-
by High Street?
Pardon?
The fairgrounds, was that up by High Street, that whole corner?
Broad Street, yes, Broad and High, that whole
Yep.
corner. So, this doesn't have a lot of detail to it, other than it shows the, location of the stables, the, viewing stand, and the exhibition hall. And, it shows where the water pipes went. And I thought that was kind of neat. In 1888, they actually had, running water, from the town system. There was a water pumping station up on High Street at the time for town wells, but I don't believe there was a water tower then. This was just a pumping station. So anyways, but it's kind of neat that it shows probably a more accurate description of where the buildings were. This, it shows the, entrance booth out on Broad Street. Now, the entrance booth is right where Brick Kiln Lane is today.
Oh, okay.
So that'll give you a little bit better idea on, where these buildings existed. And the exhibition hall, there may still be some remains of bricks out in the woods where this was, but, it's become, kind of a hot topic because, in town government, because the exhibition hall, the fairgrounds were sold to the Brickyard, with the exception of the exhibition hall. So that one little piece of land was kept by, I don't know who, but it ended up in the hands of, Peter Mazzolini, who lived on Brick Kiln Lane. And it's now in the hands of his son. And when the, town ran the sewer line through there to get from, well, the sewer line that comes down from, Main Street down through the ironworks along the river, through the sewer easement, across Oak Street, and then down through the foundry property and crosses Broad Street. And it ended up going through the exhibit hall lot. The town thought they owned it. Well, he didn't. And, now the current owner of, well, he's been trying to sell it to the town for a long time, but, the town was reluctant to buy it for whatever reason. And then they decided they were gonna take it by eminent domain. So there it sits. It's going to court. Because he just wants, fair, compensation for the property, and he doesn't feel as though eminent domain is gonna give him that. But anyways, the fairgrounds property, so it's kind of neat. So these are both good-sized maps. They're probably, 24 by 30 inches. So if you ever get, over to the library, go up and see Karen Hewens, I think is her name. She's the, archivist. So when I brought it up there, it was kind of neat that there was this young lady sitting with her in her office talking. And, she's an intern. I don't remember what school she's from. I don't know if she's interning at Bridgewater or another school, but, her field of study is, Eliza Carver. So we had a very nice conversation on, what she's found so far. She's just gotten back from, Natchez, Mississippi, where Carver stayed when he was down in Natchez in, I think 1813. And, it was really neat because I asked her if she got over to the Natchez Historical Society, and she said, yes, she did. She was real excited that I knew all about it. And then I didn't remember the name of the lady who I spent, probably an hour with, who's the, historian for Natchez Historical. And she knew the woman right away. She had spent a whole afternoon with her talking about Carver, and she had copies of everything that the lady had given her. So it was kind of a neat meeting, and I'm going to be meeting up with her again, probably in the next week or two to talk about, Carver. I'll show what I have. She's, putting together a display and a paper on Carver, and the display will be downstairs in the display area outside of the, two meeting rooms in the glass cases where the Civil War display had been for 6 months or better. So that'll be something for you to check out.
Neat.
Yeah, it was really funny. She knew all the places that I had been, and I told her I had a picture of the house that Carver stayed in, and she said, yeah, she had seen a copy of it, but I ended up buying a postcard of it was the Spanish governor's mansion.
Over what could have been.
It looks like a couple of those pipes leads to nowhere. Were they planning to build something? Do you know?
I don't know. It might have. Well, speculation. There might have been. It might have. I'll have to check this out with the picture that we have of the fairgrounds photograph, and we could see possibly they went to another building yet to be built, and then might have just been a water bubbler in the field.
Yeah.
Actually halfway between the exhibition hall and the right here. So leads to more speculation.
Thank you.
So I ran into the folks from 96 Main Street, and I spoke with Pat Driscoll, and they have still not submitted a plan to the planning board.
Really?
So we're still waiting to hear. He said he was going to give me a copy of what he was going to do there, and I haven't heard from him yet. So that's stalled. No, the project commonly referred to as the Friendlies property, that project is also stalled because he doesn't have enough room for parking. So he's trying to buy some land off of the first house that's standing past Friendlies. And he's running into a zoning problem because the house is already a non-conforming lot.
Oh,
And in order for him to sell a piece, he's going to have to go to the zoning board of appeals.
What is he planning on putting there, David?
Apartment houses and retail shops.
Oh, okay.
The retail is supposed to be on the first level of the apartment houses, and I think it's 4-story buildings. But he wants to keep the bowling alley and turn that into a retail area.
Oh,
So, don't know. I was part of a conversation once, and he was talking about a guy who wants to come there somewhere in the Boston area, and he has a unique product, and all I can remember it as a flatbread pizza. But I guess it's something that's real hot up in Boston way. And he thinks he's gonna thinks it's gonna be hot in Bridgewater. So that's all.
So would a bowling alley.
Yeah, I always enjoyed bowling there, but the bowling alley is the alleys were taken out. It's not like they built over them. It would have been neat if they did, but when the guy bought it for the restaurant, they ended up taking all those maple lanes out, 10 of them. It's gone. Let's see, what else was there? So he's hung up on parking. The guy who's trying to build behind the Masonic Lodge has not submitted a formal plan yet, but there's a lot of there's a lot of controversy with the neighbors going on right now, because I don't know, if you, next time you go by Masonic Lodge, you'll see a big sawhorse blocking half of that right of way. It's owned by Steve and Donna Jewell, and I don't believe that he has a right of way across their property, but he believes that he does. So.
Is there enough room back there to build anything?
There's not a lot.
Oh,
You could, if sometime you got a few seconds to kill, just drive out there, because it won't take you long to look at it. There's a small building, and he's torn down all of the additions on it. And he's trying to squeeze enough parking out there for 6 apartments. And I just can't picture it. He's also gonna have to go to the zoning board of appeals. Because he doesn't meet any of the criteria that was specified in the new master game plan that Mr. Rulli had put together, as far as open space, parking, access, and all of that stuff. So he's gonna have to seek relief through the zoning board of appeals. So,
Didn't Laura Healy just, or not just, but recently allow people to build on their property, like little apartments without any kind of zoning?
was that?
I heard from someone, and I think I remember hearing it on the news.
I did too, yes.
Laura Healy recently.
Oh, the governor.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
I was
rec-
thinking, I thought you were talking about a Bridgewater resident.
Oh, no. She
Okay.
recently okayed, I want to say a law, that allows people to build little auxiliary houses or apartments on their property. I think up to
Yes.
900 square feet.
Yes, it's called accessory dwelling units.
Yep.
ADUs. And that law was signed in the first or second week in August. And it goes into effect February 1st on the state level. And it's up to the cities and towns of the state to come up with regulations on how they're gonna deal with it in their own town. I think what the state law says, that you need a minimum of 10,000 square feet on your lot. And if you have that, you can build up to 900 square feet.
And I think it needs to have its own like address and driveway.
Yes, as an accessory dwelling unit.
Yeah.
It will have all of that stuff. And it'll, of course, it'll be owned, the land will still be owned by the property owner, so that will probably be a like a condo deal. But it's gonna have a significant impact around the state. That's for sure.
Yep.
Because I'm dealing with it up in West Bridgewater now. They're trying to figure out how to handle it. But one thing it does do, if you have, say you have a 2-car garage attached to your house, and you want to build an apartment over the 2-car garage with a separate access and everything else, you can build a separate dwelling unit, provided that you have water, sewer, parking, and all of those things. So you can do it. And a couple of West Bridgewater residents have come in and asked me about it, and all I can do is tell them, stay tuned, rules are coming. Unfortunately, when you get to that point and you're looking for an accessory dwelling unit, very few of them are looking for income. They're usually looking for an in-law or
Mhm.
somebody who needs housing, and
Yeah.
they want to do it right away. But the regulations aren't there to allow that right now. So I to tell the people, wait a couple more months. They're working on, but I've been told by a couple of the potential applicants that there are a number of manufactured home companies in the New England area that are building these units. so that once the regulations go through, you'll be able to just make arrangements with them to truck it all down and put it in your backyard.
Yep.
So, it's coming.
That would also accommodate what we call now the little houses that are sprouting up everywhere. As long as it was under the 900 feet.
Yes. And 900 square feet is nothing to sneeze at. That's a good size house. I think my first home that Wendy and I had was a 2436 ranch down in Carver, and that was right around 900 square feet. Had 3 bedrooms and held our family for 5 or 6 years. So it's a good sized building. 900 square feet. So something that's coming.
Yeah.
I did run into some people up in West Bridgewater that told me that Bob Beavis, who used to come to our meetings as a representative of the West Bridgewater Historical Commission, is in a rest home now. He's not doing well.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But let's see. History-wise,
I came across something pretty interesting
what do you got?
the other day. I was at a birthday party on Conant Street, and the homeowner was telling me his house used to house smallpox victims.
Oh, the pest house.
Yes, I guess.
Yes, I know the house. I've never been in it, but I got some pictures of it in my collection.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous inside. I think they kept a lot of the original stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were telling me how they have a book. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I think it came with the house, and it has the house history in it. And he's supposed to show it to me sometime.
Oh, that could be neat. Geez, we'd love to get photographs or copies of that book and put it down in the historical room. I think my dad said something about that, and he had copies of a couple of the pages. They have a bunch of goats.
Yes,
Yeah.
they have a horse, some goats, and chickens.
Yeah.
And there's a little cemetery next to them, I guess, where the victims were buried.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of numbered graves.
But they told me they don't have any ghosts. So
that have made contact with him yet.
yeah.
Now, is the name Pest the family that originally built it, or is it
No,
infested?
it's short for pestilence.
Oh, okay.
That's where the name came from. I think it was originally a Conant house, but I'm not sure. There are a number of Conants who lived in the area. But I'm sure that would be in that book that Jeff talks of. Yeah, I've always.
I'll keep bugging him about it till he shows me.
Yeah, that'd be neat to see it. Appears to be pretty much buried inside, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
I'll see. I'll ask him if I can take some pictures of some of the stuff, like their fireplace.
Go for the moon. See if you can get a tour for the Historical Commission.
All right. Yeah, sure.
See if they're interested.
All right.
Yeah.
When was that house built?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's in the Macris collection. So
He
we
told
could look
me
at-
it was around 300 years.
Wow.
it wouldn't surprise me looking at it. And it's got to be a very early house. And that was a Conant Street was a little ways up the street is Kitty Doherty's house. And in her backyard is a stone marker that talks about the distance to New Bedford on it, Boston to New Bedford. So that was a main road through there, because of course Bedford Street wasn't there. Bedford Street didn't come in until the 1930s, and Summer Street was I don't know how that road played in with Summer Street. I don't know if they were connected further on down the river, down by Titicut. But that road went through, because that was all farmland before the prison came in. Individual farms. Or South Bridgewater or Titicut. So. Anything else happening with the CPC, Jeff?
The meeting's tomorrow, and
Oh.
my notes from the last meeting are pretty bare, not really.
Yeah.
They did mention that the Parthenon freeze would be delayed until after early voting is done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Don't
suppose you don't want
remember why.
staging in there. When people are coming through to vote.
But I did come across something else recently. I was talking with the new manager at the library, John Fields, and he was telling me he knows how to set up hybrid meetings, if that's still something on the table.
Well, Sherry, do you think you'll ever leave your house to come out to a meeting again?
Maybe. Depends if I'm running to karate or other meetings, but yeah, I could go uptown.
Okay. Well, Jeff, Josh has offered to train us. So between Josh and now the director of the library, I thought that was Jed.
Manager, not director.
Manager of the library.
He's like a planning manager.
Oh,
He's setting up all new like events and stuff in the
oh,
library.
yeah.
And
I
Is that a
haven't,
new, is that a new position?
Maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
I know they've had a couple women working at that position in the past, and I know they both retired. So
Yeah, I met him through my son's baseball team. Our son shared a baseball team over the summer,
oh,
and stayed in touch with him. And he reached out recently to see if my boy would be willing to spearhead a Pokemon club at the library. And she enthusiastically said yes.
how old's your son?
He's 9.
9. Okay, my grandson just turned 13, but he's been a Pokemon fan for years.
Oh boy, so it's not a phase, huh?
No, no, he's got a million cards. He can
Nice.
tell you which ones are the valuable ones and which ones are throwaways.
But that's good for them to, especially if you have a club at the library. It's a safe place and it's a safe activity.
Yeah. They had a chess club there for a while, but I believe that's moved over to the Cole Meeting House over on Cedar Street. I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but I went to a couple of those with my grandson, and there was people there from all age groups, right from younger elementary school kids right up through adults, challenging the kids, and they're getting quite a run for their money.
Nice.
Yeah. The house on Summer Street that we had written a letter on, they did get their variance through the zoning board of appeals, and so they can leave the barn where it is. They put a jog in the property line for the 1 or 2 duplexes going up on Leonard Street, and I don't know if that house is occupied again yet. And I haven't heard anything on the Perkins property down on Cherry Street. But it's, that house will eventually come on the market. So that's a late 1700s house, and it's not a real pure restoration, but it's all of the architectural features inside are the same. The layout of the rooms and everything, the great room in the back where the kitchen was and so forth. And the Alden House on High Street, I'm told, has been bought by one of the family members. It was owned by a bunch of family members, and this one guy, Dr. Tom Johnson, who's always had a passion for the house. It was in the hands of his sister, and now, once his sister passed, he was able to get all of his sister's kids to sell it to him. So, and it still remains vacant. I don't know what he's going to do with it. I haven't talked to him since his acquisition. So.
That's Alden as in John Alden?
Yes, it was, the land was given to John Alden's son, and then he in turn gave it to, I believe, a nephew, or transferred it to a nephew. John Alden or his son never lived there, but it's been in the Alden family right along up until the early 1800s, and then it was sold to the Wood family. And then in the late 1800s, the Alden family bought it back. So the people who own it now are members of the Alden kindred, I guess you could call them. So it's been almost in continuous ownership of the Aldens since the original grant. So.
Yeah, John Alden's oldest daughter moved. She lived in Little Compton.
Uh-huh.
That's who I'm descended from.
Oh.
So it'd be neat to meet those people.
Yeah. Let's see. I forget what the connection is with the Alden family, other than owning.
He was the first one off the Mayflower.
Yeah, I don't know how how the family tree comes down.
Oh. I know he had multiple kids. And I can just tell you about one of them, but I suppose they all spread out.
Yeah.
How did your a relative end up in Little Compton?
Well, that's where I'm from.
Oh, okay. I love it there.
It's beautiful, but
Yeah.
pretty boring for a 20-year-old. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I left.
My husband has surfed on that beach all his life.
On South Shore?
I don't know what they call it. It's where the farm is, up on the ridge.
Okay, yep.
And, you know, you take a bend and there's a big old house right there, and then you go down to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And we always call it Goose Wing, but I think Goose Wing's on the other side.
Yeah, you got to walk a little further down to get to Goose Wing. Yep.
Yep.
It's a nice spot.
Yeah, we had
It used to
looked at-
be.
Yeah.
It's all full of rocks now.
And plus you can't get in there anymore. They have the, you know, it's like a prison.
Yep,
It's too bad.
it is.
It's amazing that that part of the state, part of Massachusetts and Little Compton have escaped the development that's been in other places along the coast.
Yes.
The Alden family that owns, well, the Johnson, they own a big place down in Westport. I went down there once. Beautiful place, but I think they just bought into it with some money. I don't think there's any family connection with it.
Okay. I think my brother, he went to another Alden house a couple summers ago. I think it was near Miles Standish Park.
Yes, it's in Duxbury.
Hmm.
I believe that house was the Alden homestead.
Okay.
After he branched out of the Plymouth colony. And when I was there with my grandson, it wasn't open, but they have a big visitors center there, and they offer many classes in the barn. Beautiful post and beam barn. They offer classes and all sorts of things down there. It's a pretty neat spot. And I think they show the location of the first house, which is nothing more than a grassed over cellar hole. And this one was built a few years later. But it's a substantial house. So
Nice.
good place to check out.
Yeah, I've been meaning to make it over there sometime.
Yeah. Well, look up the website on the internet. I'm sure they have some programs during school vacations and summers and stuff that your son would really be interested in.
Oh, if it has to do with Pokemon, he's all hands on deck.
Yeah, my grandson has tried to get me interested in some of the Pokemon games, but it doesn't, they don't have the structure of Monopoly or something like that. It's just out there playing with cards. It's just, I told him, I said, it's like he's making up the rules as we go along. And said, are you sure these are the rules? Oh yeah, really, Grandpa, this is it. This is the way it's done. Okay. So,
Nice.
well, I apologize for missing the third Tuesday. I didn't look at the calendar that well and noticed that there are 5 Tuesdays in October. And I would imagine that next month, the third Tuesday is going to be the Tuesday night before Thanksgiving. So I'll have to look into that and plan accordingly. Let's see. Well, take a real quick look at the calendar. Third Tuesday's 19th. And okay, the fourth, no, it's third Tuesday because the 19th, and Thanksgiving isn't until the 28th. So we get plenty of time. Okay, so I will shoot for the 19th, and I will try to hold it to that. And let's go for that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, well, unless something else spectacular comes up in between now and then, if there's any other discussion, anything else somebody wants to bring up?
No,
If,
I'm good.
If the owner of the pest house agrees to a tour, like, should I aim for like a morning time or afternoon time?
I'll make time anytime.
Or do you just want me to get him in touch with you? You guys, you can set it up with him.
No, you can stay as our contact with him.
Okay.
Morning is better for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's go for it. If he's willing.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah. No, it doesn't hurt to ask at all. They haven't been in there that long, have they, Jeff?
Longer than I've been in town.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the house was up for sale about 10 years ago.
I've only lived in town since 2020.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, it's possible they may be new there. I know I don't know, it was a late summer or early fall. We heard a hell of a party going on down there over in that neighborhood. So we got on our bicycles and took a ride over there to see where all the noise was coming from. And they had quite a crowd. They had a band out in the backyard and,
Yeah.
we
They
could,
have a stage set up over there next to an old storage, like shipping container.
Hmm.
And
Well.
the birthday party we went to, they had a guy set up a projector to watch movies outside on it.
Oh, fun,
neat.
yeah.
Yep. It turned into a video game session for the kids. So
Yeah. Oh, that's
Sounds like
good.
my kind of people, yeah.
Yeah.
it was really cool.
All right, gentlemen,
well,
if we're all set, I've got to go to my other meeting.
All right. Well,
but-
glad you could make it, Sherry.
Okay, I'll talk to you next
Yeah.
month.
Okay.
All
Talk to you
right,
later
bye.
or sooner.
Take care.
Yep. All right, Jeff. So let me know when something comes up.
Sure. I'll email you when I have some news.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Talk
Night.
to you later. Good night.